Well, today we got a special little guitar here. It's a Les Paul Jr. What year is this, Aaron?
Don't know.
We don't know. It's an unknown year, Les Paul Jr. And it's in for just a minor improvement. We're going to put on a MojoAxe Compensated saddle wraparound tailpiece. Aaron is the owner of the guitar and complaining about not being able to get strings out of here without using special hooks and tools. And this bridge, what kind of bridge is this? This isn't the stock one, is it?
No, the stock one looks kind of like that. Resomax, it's a Graphtech.
Okay, so this is a Graphtech Resomax, and nice looking bridge, but with the old P90s here, the soap bar kind of pickups, it just doesn't work. You can't get it out of there, and then the pickup's so close. This should be a fairly easy swap out. You can see the compensated saddle there, how the ridge on this piece kind of goes from close to the 12th fret on the bass side and then farther away on the treble side. So there's some little adjustments there, so we're going to rough it in and then we'll put it on the Peterson and get it all intonated, and hopefully it'll be a nice playing guitar by the time we get done. Well, we solved our mystery of what year this guitar is. I don't know if that'll show up in the reflection there, but it's 2012, made in the US. Pretty nice looking piece. So this is a Billy Joe Armstrong model that's been stripped of all its Billy Joe Armstrongness from the kidney bean style tuners to these vintage tulips. Those were swapped out, and then the pick guard was swapped out for a tortoise. It looks a little bit more vintage. And then was the pickup swapped too?
No, it's the original.
Pickup.
It's an H90 is what Gibson calls it. So I think it's a stacked. It's a humbucker, but it's supposed to sound like a P90. Whether it does or not, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're gonna add a little more juice to it today. Woo! So our first order of business here is going to be to get rid of our old strings. Now let's all witness here what a pain in the junk this can be. Your string end comes out and just hits that soap bar right like that. If you're trying to change a single string, obviously if you're changing them all, you just remove the whole bridge. So the new MojoAxe will not fit onto these posts, and these aren't the stock posts. These are the Graphtech posts. They're nice and tight on the Graphtech, but this won't fit over them. So we're going to take these guys out. And we'll put these guys in. Man. Guessing under string tension that'll go away a little bit. We got a set of Ernie Ballsack 10 gauge for the old Gibby here. We're gonna string up the new bridge and then we'll slide her on here and get her tuned up to pitch. There she goes.
A whole lot more access to the strings.
Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah. Get them stretched out there a little bit.
Yeah.
That should be good. So I should back way up here. Before we started working on this guitar, we checked the neck relief and it was in good shape. And I talked to Aaron about, you know, what's been bugging him about the guitar. And we found the G string is a little bit dull. And I think that's due to a nut that's cut poorly. And it probably just needs to be replaced. This is the stock plastic nut here on the Junior. And the nut could probably get replaced with either a bone nut or a Graphtech or something a little bit nicer, but the G's definitely really dull when you pluck it. All the strings are at the right height from a nut action perspective. So now we got neck relief, we've got the nut action checked out. The next piece is making sure that we have the right string height across the strings. And we're a little bit low on this guy. We've got about 3.5 64s here, and we're a little bit high on this one. We can come down just a skosh. It's at like maybe 3.25 64s. So we're going to bring those down. So one fun thing is to measure the thread pitch, and this the Gibson setup here is 24 threads per inch. So you know this has to screw in 24 times to equal 1 inch. So if you're coming up or down a 64th, you know that you have to go about half a turn, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less. So that's going to get us real close. We do want to back the strings off in order to adjust the height on this bridge. Yeah. Feels good. Steady. Sharp means it's too short, so we need to lengthen it out just a tick. Which means this should go in. I don't know if we can do that with string pressure on. We'll give it a shot. See what that gets us. Still a little sharp. All right. Still a little sharp. A little bit flat. Opposite way.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Is this guy still on? Yeah. Still flat. Just a smidge. One more time. That's it. Give her a full tune and see where we're sitting. Yeah. Now we're going to show the strobe now that we've got it intonated. So the low E, we're good, and then at the 12th fret, just locked up perfect. A, just maybe a tick sharp. There's our D open. Oops. 12th fret dead on. The G, the Peterson will lock up. Oh. Just a tick sharp. The B's good. And the E is just locked on. I think that's going to do it for this bridge replacement here. With a compensated saddle, there's a little bit of a trade-off, you know, we get it pretty close. I would say by Peterson standards, that thing is about as close as you can get it. If we had individual saddle adjustments, I'd back a couple of them off. Like maybe just a quarter of a turn, something like that. I mean, nothing major. We checked the neck straightness again. We got all the string heights set. Those are important things. It's hard to show them on camera because it takes so long to get those set just perfect. Because every time you have to make a string height adjustment, you got to back the strings all off and then make your adjustment here. Tune it back to pitch and measure it, because if you're not at pitch, it's not going to measure right. The neck's going to bow differently and so on. So what did we tune this about 30 times? You don't get to see all those fun things on camera, but that's it for the Les Paul Jr. We're going to give it a little live play test and then we'll be done.
More of those.
We kind of tested all the way up the neck. Make sure we don't have any weirdness, and then did all the frets, made sure we got no fret buzz. Everything's super smooth on this guitar, and I think it's ready for a little delivery back to the owner, who just happens to be standing here. So no delivery. We'll give you one of those and one of those. Maybe we'll double them up this time. I don't know. Anyway, take care, everybody out there. If you're an angst-ridden hater, go ahead and hit the thumbs down so I can share your pain. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up or the subscribe so future videos will hit your YouTube feed.